they're exchanging, how hard they're hitting, and their total disregard for defense.
Well, that's a good left hand there for Billam-Smith, and because there is a long time remaining in the round, but he can get this done here, Billam-Smith, and he knows it. He just needs to keep putting them together, and that was a lovely left hook. Good look here, and he's running on empty here. Glover and Mark Lyson jumps in.
Protect yourselves at all times. Gluttony above both.
Outlined their recent form, their recent credentials. Glover, as we know, suffered a very defeat at the end of March. He's had a win since then. They just needed to try and get that out of his mind and had no doubt about taking this serious. At least that's where the blood seems to be coming from. We'll keep an eye on that one.
Look for Billam-Smith over the glove and onto the side of the face of Glover. And look for
Well, it's a good start to this one. Both of them throwing hooks on the inside. When you saw them in the middle of the ring, when the referee gave instructions, you could see that there was maybe a bit of old scar tissue, and it's maybe a bit worse than I thought.
It's affecting him because he's shaking his head. He hasn't dabbed at it yet, but he's shaking his head. Good body shot from Glover there. Oh, good exchange of punches. Had the better of it.
Glover just flipping Billam-Smith on the inside, just holding on to him a bit. Billam-Smith trying to get enough room there to work.
Gone straight at it, throwing hard punches and wrestling.
Just trading stiff back to the ropes, and he's just dabbing at that eye. Looks to lead off with the hook.
That cut's going to be a problem for Glover as this fight.
It's a rough and tumble of inside fighting.
And we'll learn where to place their heads and when they're in closing and when they're in clinching, because that's a skill.
Out with that hook, Billam-Smith looking to try and just fire that jab straight, because his punch will land.
And with his jab, he's done two significant jabs. And I know they're only jabs, but both these men have thrown stiff, hard shots, so those jabs are going to take something out of their opponent.
To lead left hooks there, and Glover just trying to back Billam-Smith up, who just makes a little bit of room for himself. Let's go with that right hand. Glover, same thing. Good jabs.
A little bit more about him defensively, that he can actually pick the jab sometimes, and he can. Oh, good right hand from Glover.
That was a good right hand from Glover, and just for a second there, I just wondered if the legs was wonder there. If he lands around the temple, it can be a problem. But the blood coming from the nose, lets his hands go and then moves on to the shoulder, and that's some good work from him again.
These moments. But while he's trading like this and staying in range, there's always
just looking to try and jab to the body there. As I said, some blood coming from the nose, but the cut seems to have sealed up nicely enough to reopen it, which is always a good sign. And Glover just trying to take him back into the corner and club away, but Billam-Smith again just pushed him off, made a little bit of space.
Glover looks the stronger man physically. When doing that, when you're not the stronger or physically stronger fighter, it's draining. It's something that Billam-Smith wants to be careful of.
Good left to the body from Billam-Smith, but Glover again just looking to try and club away with that. The second round, Glover again just walking him back to the rope.
It's been a grueling 2 rounds. Good counter left hook from Billam-Smith there. In the Glover corner there, they were telling him to jab, dip. We'll see if he can repeat it in this round. When he gets to these positions, he should be working, as he is. Good counter hook, left hook from Billam-Smith there off the ropes.
Out that left to set up that right. That was nice work from Billam-Smith. He's got the height, he's got the reach, he can keep it long. But he's got to maintain that gap, keep it at the right range for that. A couple of little lefts on the inside there from Billam-Smith. He doesn't mind having it up close, really what he should be doing.
Yeah, a little bit of inexperience for Glover. Allowing Glover to punch and then countering him. Glover not being active enough in this round. I gave him the second round. I gave the first round to Billam-Smith, the second round leaning on and smothering his work. That's a bit better.
A decent uppercut from Billam-Smith just before that, but Glover then just found a bit of body work, then a good right hand upstairs, and Billam-Smith answers with range. That's dangerous territory for either one of them, as you were saying, Andy. So you got counted in the 7th. The referee decided the ropes had kept him up, and at that point, he looked all into me, really. He was running on empty, but he
on the jab. Boxers tend to neglect the jab because it's so simple, but it's so effective. Fight signs of tiredness, and the more grappling, the more close it gets, the more physical the fight is, the more that will increase his tiredness. Off the ropes there, and the jab, stick on the jab, both men.
Right hand there from Glover, and it landed. Billam-Smith had his back to us, but he came forward there and was met by a right hand from Glover. Glover standing a bit square, gets caught by the uppercut. Good jab in, and this is a 12-round fight. Neither one of them has done 12 before. This is going to be a real...
And I spoke to Tony Bellew before the fight, and he said this one thing that it might come down to is test of guts, heart and determination. He said Glover had both men showing tiredness and a cut already. But at any moment, one punch could end this fight. You know how hard they're hitting and their total disregard for defense.
Well, that's a good left hand there from Billam-Smith, and he knocks him down. There was an uppercut followed by the left hand, and he went down to the knee, and he's going to need to beat the count here. It's right at the end of the round. He just needs to regain his feet, and Billam-Smith was just about to let another one go.
Andy, just explain the rules to me. When a fighter goes down and the bell rings, when does the minute rest start?
I think the minute rest starts when...
But it was, as I was saying, at any given moment this fight, the way they're trading, either of them can go down. It was a left hook. The first one really hurt in the second.
But you do have situations where they do not get the ring before the referee is happy that the count has been beaten, and they can be deemed to be entering the ring whilst the fight is still in progress, and all sorts of things can happen. But Billam-Smith just looking to pile in with the right hand there. He's found the uppercut, and he's in trouble here, Glover. He is bang in trouble. He's just trying to lean onto the shoulder, and he needs to try and buy himself some time.
He needs to hold.
Chopping down right hand there from Billam-Smith, usher him in, but he's got to either get on his go to work here. He doesn't need to go too gung-ho because there is a long time remaining in the round, but he can get this done here, Billam-Smith, and he knows it. He just needs to keep putting them together, and that was a lovely left hook, and Glover goes down to his knees again here, and Billam-Smith, I think, feels that this could well be all over. Glover gets back to his feet, but he is a beaten man in 5 seconds remaining. One more clean punch, and this is over. The referee's having a good look here, and he's running on empty here. Glover, and Mark Lyson jumps in as he gets knocked down again there by Billam-Smith. Shane McGuigan into the ring and hoists his man aloft.
It was a devastating knockout, wasn't it, in the end? He had him hurt from the previous round, was patient, took his time, and found the shot. And once he got him hurt, he kept him going. It was good punch selection too, good variety of punching. And really, he didn't need to be out there taking that last left hook. Any given moment now, the referee could have jumped in and saved him. There. Inside and outside with Glover. It was a good statement, you know. Good performance.
Well, he's the new Commonwealth champion, and he will have a very close eye, I'm sure, on that fight between Richard Riakporhe and Jack Massey on December.
Referee Mark Lyson calls a halt to this contest. The official time of the stoppage, 1 minute and 45 seconds of round number 5. Your winner by technical countout, and the new Commonwealth Cruiserweight champion, the Fighting Pride of Bournemouth, CBS, the gentleman, Chris Billam-Smith.
And the new, that was what he wanted to hear. That's what they both wanted to hear. It could only be one of them, and it's Chris Billam-Smith who's going to put on that Commonwealth Cruiserweight belt.